Review It TV, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate all my supporters, subscribers, and new viewers coming to the channel to check out this video today. Today, folks, we're going to do a video on the one and only Beast. Remember, it's the Beast, not Beast Mode, not Beast, it's the Beast. So, today's her birthday, and the last thing we did was this windshield on here. So if you guys haven't seen that video, you guys can go back. I'll drop a link in the description so you can see the video installation. Today we're going to do something that's going to change the dynamic and the look of the whole machine. We went ahead and got some doors. We're going to do all 4 doors, and they're going to be full door panels. They're not going to be like half inserts like we showed you on a previous video. If you're not looking to do full doors and you're interested in these lower inserts, there's another video that we've done to show you how to do the installation on these 2. Link in the description. So we're going to just remove them all today. Let's do a quick glance at the doors we are going to install, which are right over here. So I chose the Super ATV full metal doors. As you guys can see, they're really nice. Got a nice design, some rivets to make them look clean. The reason being is because I got them locally at one of our ATV shops, which is ATV. If you guys haven't heard of them here in Albuquerque, check them out. Cool guys, got a nice shop with some nice product. They gave me a little discount on this set of doors, brand new. So I decided to go ahead and go with the Super ATV doors. So we got all 4 of those. That's what we're going to do today. Let's take a once around on the machine so you guys can kind of see what the machine's looking like right now with the regular doors on. As you guys can see, we've done a lot of other things. We've done roofs, we've done spare tire racks, we've done toolboxes, we've done chase lights. We've even done a radio system that has speakers. These are all different videos on the channel you guys can check out. We have whip lights on here. We have a light bar, we have mirrors, we have upgraded sides and tires. So everything's been kind of taken care of on this machine over the months and the last year or so. And videos that support what we've done, and then you guys can view those for yourself. So just take one last look at that. This is what we're looking like with the plastic doors on and the lower inserts. And then we'll do a once over once we get all the doors installed so you can see how it looks with the final product. Okay guys, so a quick review of the tools that you're going to need. And some of these you may not need, but the most important ones are going to be the bits. You're going to have a T30 bit like that, a little star bit. Then you're going to need 2 of your metric sockets. You're going to need a number 13. And then this one is a number, let's see, 13 and a number 12. And the reason you need 2 of these is because the bolts that go on the door originally from the manufacturer are going to be a little bit bigger than the ones that come with the hardware in the packet for the doors. So the number 13 is going to be to take off the old screws from your door, and then the number 12 is going to be to install the new screws on your door. So keep in mind those 3 bits. Get a little flathead screwdriver, and the reason I got a little flathead screwdriver and these needle nose pliers is because you have to drill out some rivets on your door to get the old door handle off to put on your new door. And sometimes when you're drilling the rivets out, they start spinning and they won't drill out if they keep spinning. So you just kind of clamp them down with that and then finish drilling them out. So you're just going to want a little drill bit that's about the size of the hole in the center of the rivet so you can drill it out. And then another little impact to put the bolts on your door. And that's pretty much it, guys. So we'll jump over to the machine and we'll show you how to get these old doors off and the new ones on. Okay, so let's check out the doors and how we're going to remove the old ones. If you take a look over here, the doors that come stock on the machine have these straps, and these straps are meant to hold the door from opening too far. As you can see, we opened the door, didn't shut the door completely right, and when we took off, the door slammed open and ripped the strap off. So I would normally drill out this little rivet hole right here, but since it's already broken off, I don't have to worry about that. I'm just going to remove the 2 bolts up here, and then this door will slide off that easily. So you'll just get your little impact. I believe it's the bigger one. Right. And all we're going to do is just remove these 2 bolts. Hold on a second. Takes a second because they're on there good. Just don't over torque them too hard. Just once they come off like that, then you can just finish spinning them off by hand. Watch out, there's little washers that go on here originally, so try to keep those washers. This is just going to slide out now like this, folks. So you don't have to take all this plastic off. If you're looking at it ahead of time, Don't let this plastic confuse you because this just slides out this way. Then it's just holding on by this bottom hinge. So we're just gonna lift it up and then there you go. See how easily the doors are to take off? And that's the old door with the old door bags. So this little hinge right here, you're gonna wanna slide that out. And don't worry about that little plastic washer. And we're gonna be using this on the old door. So now we can just set the, or we're gonna be using these, sorry, on the new door. So we'll set the old door to the side and we'll go ahead and get the new door ready. Okay guys, the next step is to take your old door handle straps off the old doors to be able to put it on the new one. You won't have to switch out latches because the new doors already have the latches, you're just reusing these. This is where we get the T30 bit to take that screw out to be able to get to that latch. So I'll just remove that. Once you get that, I would save all your old hardware and even these doors, put them away in case you wreck your unit. You can still have a set of doors you can use. So you can see there's a rivet there. So the rivet has to be drilled out and it's either going to drill nicely or it's going to spin and we're going to have to hold it with our needle nose while we finish drilling it, like we had mentioned earlier. So let's go ahead and slowly drill this out. Start out slow, don't speed, and then maybe it won't spin. See how it's spinning, guys? Like I was telling you, so that's the problem we have by trying to drill these out. So we're just basically getting some needle nose and holding it. And then finish drilling it. And sometimes it's going to spin again, so you got to try to grip it again. And not quite all the way. And so this is kind of a nice experience to show you guys what you might end up having to deal with in order to get these rivets out. But there we go. See? Now the old rivet comes out. And then you have that new rivet. Make sure you guys keep this little barrel in the center of that. It's going to help keep it in place. So now we're going to install it on the new one. Okay guys, so these are your hardware kits that come with these specific doors. You should have 2 hardware packages completing the hardware for each set of doors. So this will cover 2 doors and you should have another pack like this for the other 2 doors. So if you go to buy these doors and you only see one of these, make sure you go back to whoever you're buying it from and tell them you need the remaining hardware kit. So basically the only thing we're really going to use out of this, guys, is the barrel spacers that go on to the hinges, the brackets that hold the door on, and then these 4 bolts, 2 of them will go on each door, and then of course these 2 smaller screws that have a nut and a washer, and that's what actually holds this strap onto here. So we'll go ahead and get a couple of those out. Just got to use these, one of those right there, and then there's some hardware that's actually hidden under that tape, if I can get it to work right. So I want to get that hardware right there. So you're going to use a washer. One of those, and then one of these little nuts right here. And these are the pieces you'll need just for the handle. So you can put that back to the side. You have your washer, your nut, and your screw. Basically just going to come over here to this side, stick this through there, and then this is actually going to go on this top one here, not this one, because it has to pull it like that to open it. See what I mean? If you put it right here, it's not going to pull it downwards, so it has to go to this side. So basically you're just going to put your screw right through like that. You're going to put the washer on the bottom. You can't see that, so that's fine, folks. You know what we're doing here. And then screw your nut on like so. And once you get that put together, then that concludes the door handle hardware. So then you can start installing the door. Okay, so I got it started with a little nut. Take your little needle nose pliers, 3mm Allen wrench bit. Just slowly tighten it, don't torque it. Like that, that's all you need. And then there it is right there. So now you can see when you pull on the handle, bam. So we'll leave it like that just to show you guys for now. But that's how you get the door handle reinstalled. So we'll move on to the next step. Okay guys, next step is to get a couple of your little barrel spacers, which are these guys, these little brass looking rings. These are going to go on your hinges, your hardware, kind of spaces the space that's needed to keep these doors sitting right. So you're going to put one on the top hinge like this. And then if you look on this bottom side over here, so this is, like I said, the top. You put a barrel spacer there, and that's going to go back in there. And then you have an old plastic one that came on here. Take the old ones off, and then just put the new barrel spacer right there, and then you're ready to go to start installing it. So next you want to take your bracket, which is going to hold the door on, and you got to slide it in this hole over here. So it's going to sit in there just like that. And you're going to go over to the side. Now you've gotten the door latch on, you've gotten the barrel spacer and the top bracket ready. We're going to go ahead and sit the door onto the machine. You can see these doors are real light, doesn't take much effort. So basically this bottom hole of the bracket on the door frame is going to go over that, and then this will slide back into here, and then we'll adjust it to get rid of any sag and make our final position adjustment on it. So this can be a little bit tricky too, guys, trying to get this hole lined up. I noticed once you do, then this is going to go into there, and then we're going to go ahead and try to see where this is sitting so far. As you can see, look how far down that is. You're probably like, dang, this isn't going to work right. But what we're going to do is go ahead and sit it for a second, and then we're going to figure out just how we're going to align this from sagging. Now, I noticed by doing some research that there's not a lot of information or even instructions here that are showing you how to correct the sag. I noticed I watched a video where a guy was showing you how to put some doors onto this brand, but they didn't really show you how to adjust the sagging. And you don't want your latch to not be centered to where it's going to line up right to latch. So this is how it's done. What you're going to do is you're going to get your socket that you're going to use to tighten up the bolts up here with. You're going to put 2 bolts out of the hardware inside of the top bracket up here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lift on the door to get it right where we want it level, and then tighten these 2 bolts down while we're holding the door level. And that should keep the door sitting right in the levelness that you leave it at in order for it to line up with the latch correctly. Okay guys, so the 2 bolts that are going to hold the door bracket, these ones right here, you got 2 for one door and 2 for the other. This one is a number 12. So the old bolts that you took off of your old doors was the number 13. So what we'll do is we'll come over here, and you want to get the bracket in here lined up and get your bolts started. So once you get them started by hand, I'd recommend just barely starting them, like there's the first one. And then you got to get that bracket. And this is a little bit tricky, guys. Sometimes this won't line up right away, and you got to hold the door in a certain position to get that bracket right where you need it to start the second bolt screw. Okay guys, so you can see the door sitting sagging. It's on. I've got the 2 screws up here started, and it's on the hinges. So in order to get this to line up like this, you're going to have to just lift up on the door like so until you get that latch where it needs to be, correct? So once you get it up, you want to look behind the door to get that latch right where it is, so it'll line up right. You're going to hold it up level, and then you're going to come back over here and tighten these 2 bolts down. At the same time you're holding it up. Once you do that and let go, it should just stay up and level like that. This is the only way that you can really level this. You don't want to bend this up or down because that doesn't level the door. You're basically bending it down to meet up with a latch with an unlevel door. So don't mess with this. It's all going to be in these 2 screws and lifting this up while you tighten these down. So we'll go ahead and try that and see if it works for me right away in front of your view, and then you guys will understand what I'm talking about. So I'm going to lift it up to about right there, and then I'm going to tighten these screws. You want to make sure that you kind of torque them like you're hearing that sound. Then when you open the door, as you can see now, look, it's not even dragging them more. Look, you got to make sure that this lines up perfect. Sometimes you have to adjust it a little bit more, but keep in mind though that these doors are brand new too, so the latches are going to be kind of stiff, and the metal that's going over is going to be new, so it kind of wears and becomes easier and the door starts to latch. But if you go to latch it after you align it and it's still off a little bit, just loosen your 2 screws again, reposition the door where you think you like it, and hold it in place while you torque down your 2 screws. This is an important step, guys, because like I mentioned, not a lot of people are showing you how to adjust the sagging. So you can do this same concept on other vehicles and other car doors for other machines, maybe like a Razor or something. So yeah, to me it's kind of nice. It's sitting right here where it needs to. It's sitting there without really touching. I may want to come up just and barely. Well, look how solid that is. Anyway, that door doesn't shake, move. You're not getting any type of bowing down here. So we'll go ahead and do the back door, and then that'll be it. You're basically just going to repeat the steps that we're showing you on these two doors for the installation on your passenger side doors. We, in fact, already did the 2 passenger side doors ahead of time, so we could kind of get a gist on what we were going to have to do to explain this correctly to you guys on these 2 doors. So we'll go ahead and get the next door ready to go, and we'll finish this up. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and do the next door, which is the back driver's side. Gonna open that up if you want to come over here and take a look. As you can see, this strap is still intact. I didn't rip the door open and rip the rivet out. So just remember, when you're drilling the rivets out, you want to drill the rivet out on the side of the door so that way it stays attached to the frame, because what you're going to do is ultimately reuse this strap on the newer doors, and you'll just get a screw and put it through onto the new door. It's going to go on the door, not the vehicle. It just takes a second. You'll know when you get it. And if it starts to pop or starts to turn like that, the only thing I can suggest is to use a screwdriver to keep it from spinning. Can be a little bit tricky, folks, but you kind of got to get a screwdriver or a flathead under it to kind of keep it from spinning a little bit. Just twist it and then finish drilling. And it'll... Bam, just like that. So there you go. Nice and smooth. Easy way to get it out. Now we'll just undo these 2 bolts right here, and the door will lift right off. Okay, so let's just take these 2 screws, loosen them. Just like that. There's another one right next to it. And you can tell that these are torqued down really well, and that's what keeps the position and the levelness of the door once they install it. So just make sure you get that washer and that bolt from either side. You're not going to reuse these washers, I don't think, again. For the new ones you can, but we'll go ahead and work what we got. Next is going to be using the 2 screws that come in the hardware kit like we showed you, with the screws themselves after we remove this door. So there it is. Now we'll go ahead and take the latch off of this door, put it on the new one, and then reinstall the new door. Okay guys, so unfortunately on the back doors they don't have the T30 screw to undo the little panel that you need to take off to get to your door strap. You have to drill out 3 rivets. So fortunately we'll do that. Start out slow, see if we can get them without them spinning. This one looks like it wants to spin already. And then they start spinning, so it makes it kind of a pain if it doesn't drill it out right away. That one was fortunate enough to come right out. It's real slow, guys. It's the best way to do it with these rivets. See, that one's spinning, so we'll try to get the screwdriver under it. This is the only way I found to really keep this rivet from moving, is to get up under the bottom of it like that and kind of try to hold it in place. And it's hard sometimes, guys, to get that. It's almost out anyway, but if I can just get that screwdriver under there just a little bit. And I want you guys to see this so you can see that it's not always that easy. Of course, my drill wants to die in the middle of all this. Let me change the battery. Should be almost about ready. There it is. And the third one. See if this one's going to go any easier. Starting to spin. Try to get under it again. It's a little bit tight on this one. This one's trick. There it is. 3 of them. So there you guys can see, a little bit hot, but that's how you drill the rivet out. Then you're able to just get into there, drill your last rivet out, and then we'll go ahead and put this on the door. This one may spin too. Well, already spinning. So found that the pliers are a little bit easier to hold this one when it's spinning. There it is. Make sure, like I said, you keep that little barrel in the center of your strap, because that's going to keep it from fraying when it's installed on the new one. So we'll go ahead and install this now onto the new door. Okay, hardware, nut, washer, bolt out of the hardware kit. Take your strap, stick it through there. You're going to put it on the bottom, not the top. Put your screw through first, then of course the washer on the bottom, and then your nut. Tighten that up. Now the door is ready to install. And we'll get the next set of hardware, which will be the barrel washers, put onto the brackets, the hinges basically that hold the door on. Okay, got it started, so I'm just going to hold that little nut on the bottom. Put that in there and just ease it into there. You don't want to torque it too hard, you just want to, when it barely starts. There it is. Alright, so next, take your bracket that'll go into the door. Put your little barrel washer on there, these little gold ones like we showed you on the previous door. Stick one over that, just like so, and slide it into your new door. Sometimes these holes here are stiff, and you may go to put this in and it's really tight and you feel like it's not going to let it go. You just got to keep working it, guys, till it loosens that hole up. Then you'll be able to put it right in. So let's go over here again. Remember to take your second barrel washer, a little gold one, take off the plastic one that's on here, so you're not going to double it up or it won't sit right. Put the new one on and just set the plastic one to the side with your old hardware. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get this to sit on right. Like I said, guys, sometimes it's a little bit of a tricky thing to get this to line up. And then go ahead and slide that into place. Now we'll go ahead and see where our door is. So what we'll do is we'll get our first 2 bolts put in the top bracket here like we showed you. Then we'll lift the door up and down until we get it where we want, and then just tighten these down. That should hold the door level. Alright, so it looks like that's where I'm going to want to level it at. Because you want that to line up right here. So you got to lift it up. Look at it from the inside where it's going to latch up right about there. And then tighten down. That should keep the door right where you want it. Notice it's not sagging now. Just like that, folks. Look at that. So, like I said, the most important part of this whole installation to me, and the most difficult thing is making sure that you're able to adjust the sag. So, basically, get your 2 bolts in on the bracket up here. Line your door, look at the latch to make sure it's going to line up where it's going to connect and lock into place. Hold it there. Torque these 2 bolts down, let it go, and it should stay level. If you pay attention to that, then it won't deter you from buying these doors or any sets of doors and putting them on. Alright folks, let's just take a once around for the finished product. There's the Can-Am. You can see the color tone difference now with the doors. They look clean, they line up nicely, they're level. You know, they're a little bit of a different tone black than the rest of the black on the machine, but just looking at that, it looks pretty clean. I like the way it brings it out. I may end up getting the plastics wrapped later, make this thing match. But as you can see with everything that we've done in the past, including all the other videos that you guys can check out if you like something or an accessory that you see on this machine, most likely we have a video of it. That's how they sit. They sit pretty level, and they're just really tough, and they sit tight. They're not wobbly at all, which is good if you're making jumps and hitting rugged terrain. Your doors aren't going to be flopping around and wobbling. So yeah, guys, that's it. I like it. I think it came out good. Check out that windshield video. That was the last accessory we just put on. Digging the windshield, a little hot for the summertime. You may want to consider that if you're buying one, to just put on during the fall, winter. Cool guys, so another project on the beast finished, making it look sexier by the week. Appreciate you guys tuning in to this particular installation video. Super ATV set of doors, around 15 to 1600. If you get a discount, you get them around 14 to 15. That's where I got them at from the local shop I bought them from. You've seen how easy the installation was. You've seen the adjustments that need to be made. So not a bad deal. Consider it for your machine in the future. Just makes the machine nicer, especially in the winter time when the wind's blowing. You got a windshield, some full doors. Probably keep you a little bit warmer. During the summer, that's a matter of opinion. But anyways, I appreciate you guys tuning in to Review It TV. Thanks for being a subscriber. Thanks for being loyal, being a return watcher. We'll have some more videos coming up here in the near future. Have another channel. If you like podcasts, I have a podcast channel. Check that out below. You can see the podcast channel link. You can jump on over there, see if that's something you're into. If not, no big deal. We appreciate you guys watching these videos to begin with. So, with that being said, thanks again. We'll see you guys next time.